go live for our new catalog. That's super exciting. Today I have a simple, quick, and easy gift giving idea that I think you're really going to enjoy and be able to kind of adapt to different stamp sets that you might have. I'm going to give you sort of some tips and tricks to adapting one of our regular envelopes to match a 3x3 card. And of course, we're going to package it all pretty and lovely. So, this the whatever these things are called. What are they called? The gift bags, the ombre gift bags are found in the new catalog. So this went live today, May 4th. If you're catching this on replay, it's definitely already live. But if you haven't had a chance, head on over to my store. You'll be able to see all the new goodies, check out the new catalog, all the new product. I can finally show you the inside of it. It's beautiful. You're going to want it all. So that's where you're going to find these ombre gift bags. You get 20 of them, and you get 4 of each of the 5 in colors. So we have our polished pink, our evening evergreen, soft succulent, pale papaya, and the fresh freesia. So you get 4 of each of the 5 colors. And what's really nice about these bags is you can leave them sort of open and maybe put some tissue paper in there without having to necessarily seal it. Or you can fold it over and tie like a ribbon through it and make sure that it closes. But either way, these are really fun. They're a bag. They are, does it tell me the measurements? I'm sure it does. They're 4 3/4 by 7 inches. So a nice size. And, you know, if you're like a demonstrator, I'm trying to find one of my embellishments quickly. Let's say you wanted to like gift like something, right? You can like put it, it fits just about any of our embellishments really nicely. I have to say, I apologize if you hear the noise in the background. My washing machine is going and I couldn't stop it. So I apologize for the extra noise going on. So it'll fit our embellishments. You could throw a roll of our ribbon in it too. So it makes really great team gift giving, but even for Mother's Day, you could throw a really sweet gift in there, birthday, whatever. For the sentiment, I just used the with love because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it for Mother's Day, birthday, or for what. And so I just went with like a simple sort of generic sentiment. You, of course, could adapt it. And when it comes time when I give this, I'm probably going to use a more specific sentiment for the inside. So let's get going. I'm going to break it down really easy. You're going to be like shocked at how quickly this comes together. I will say that the inspiration for it came, again, from the new catalog, page 16, this guy up here in the corner. I was really kind of impressed how they didn't color in the full image. They just kind of colored in the outline of each flower. I'd never done that before, and I thought, hello, that is a huge time saver. Not having to worry about coloring all the individual flowers in and just kind of do the outlines. So that's what I went with. So I am using the Jar of Flowers stamp set and coordinating punch. This is carrying over, so it is still available in the new annual catalog. So yay. And I have the jar image, and I have, there's 4 different floral images. I'm going to use this one down here, which is more like roses, I think. Roses and eucalyptus maybe. I don't know. These are tulips, no idea, and sunflowers. I'm not really well versed in my flowers if you've ever caught a live of mine. So, you know, we're just going to call them generic flowers. And if you follow me over on Instagram, you will see that I kind of gave a hint to this card that I am going to be doing some fussy cutting. I know not everyone is a fan, but that's okay. This is a pretty simple image, and I think that you could, you know, if you're just starting out with fussy cutting, this would be certainly easy enough for you to do. It's not too complicated. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. For some reason, I think I have a dip in my table. Actually, I know I have a dip in my table. Let's do that again. I think I can get it better. I'm going to specifically press in that one area. Okay, so I am stamping that in Memento black ink. Hopefully that much better. Okay, and while I have my ink handy, let me just cut this off because That's good. Now, let me just pause for a second. If you've stamped something in Memento black ink, normally rule of thumb is, thank goodness cardstock has two papers. Two sides, not two papers. A paper has two sides. However, if you plan on coloring with the Stampin' blends, you can't flip it over because this will bleed through the other side. Just so you know, I did that once. I flipped it over, colored it in, and then I noticed that the image on the back side was sort of bleeding through. So something to keep in mind. The jar, I'm going to stamp in the Memento black ink as well. Trying to get a good press. There we go. Actually, no, we'll pause. Okay, so we're gonna do some coloring. I considered doing this ahead of time, but I thought, nah, I'm gonna do it live. Why not? And I'm gonna show you how easy it is, super simple. I am gonna have to do this twice. So again, I was like, should I do it a little bit ahead of time? Nah, why am I gonna do it ahead of time? We're gonna do it in the moment. So, actually I'm gonna trim this down. I don't need that piece right now. Okay, so here's our stamped flowers, again in the Memento black ink. I'm using 4 out of the 5 ink colors, okay? So it coordinates with the bags. So, which is nice is that you can color this and then it will go with any of the 5 colored bags, okay? So it's not like you have to try and match it. I have pale papaya, soft succulent, polished pink, and fresh freesia. I'm gonna start with the pale papaya. I am just going to use the light marker and I'm just going to use the brush end. Now our Stampin' blends have 2 ends. One is more of like a ball point. One is more of a brush end. And I'm going to color what I think are roses. Again, I'm no flower expert, so I could be way off and way wrong. So if I am, feel free to correct me. And you're going to see how quickly this comes together because I'm not actually going to shade it or blend it, even though you certainly could do that and step it up a little bit. But I'm going to just sort of go around the outline of the petals. The images that Stampin' Up gave me, I'm going to just go around like this. I'm going to do all 3. When I did my sample, I did start with the dark pale papaya and then go over it in the light pale papaya. But for today and for the sake of time, I'm just going to use the light. And normally I would color in all the petals and shade them all in, and it would be not time consuming. It comes together quickly, but you know, a little more time consuming than this is. So I love this idea. I saw that and I thought, that is brilliant. I'm doing that. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. Again, for this one, I did the dark. Actually, maybe I'll do it a little bit. I'll do it a little bit because it is pretty light. I won't do all of them. Although I forgot this guy over here. So this is just, now I'm coming through with the dark. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do some of them here. And I'm just literally going around the outline. So if you're not really used to coloring, if you find it a little intimidating, if you're just sort of getting your feet wet, maybe you're a new stamper and you have an image that you want to color, but maybe you feel a little intimidated by it. I know I felt like that for the longest time. I avoided anything that required coloring, honestly. And then the Stampin' blends came out and they're so user-friendly. But nonetheless, if you don't, or maybe you're like short on time and you don't really want to color the whole thing in, doing just the outline is a great way, okay? So that's that. And then I'm going to, what should I grab next? Next I'm going to do my polished pink. I'm just using the light of all of them. Although the polished pink light is still pretty bright, so it's not like it's too muted. Okay, I'm just going around that one, and then, yeah, I'm like, there's another one somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Then I'm going to do the soft succulent for my leaves. I'm just going to go, and again, this is the light one. I'm going to go on the outside like this. Okay. And then last but not least, the fresh freesia. Again, the brush end. And I have no idea what these flowers are, but they're beautiful. Maybe they're, what are those things called? Peonies? Are these peonies? I have no idea. My mother would know. She's so good with flowers and knowing of the names. I just did not inherit that gene, that's for sure. Okay, so that's done. We're gonna do a little, I'm gonna set these aside. We're gonna need them again in a second, but let's get them out of the way. Let's do a little fussy cutting. So if you aren't a fan of fussy cutting, you could easily have stamped this whole thing on like, on just like a panel of basic white or on a rectangle, one of our stitched rectangles. You could stamp the whole thing and then just have the rectangle or whatever. But if you want a little extra detail, you can go one step further and fussy cut. And I'm gonna try and do this quick. Again, I consider doing this ahead of time, but to truly show you the tutorial, I have to fussy cut. So, and I've given you lots of tips in other videos of mine if you've seen any of them, but I'll just kind of do a quick review. When you're fussy cutting, one of the first tips I can give for you is to cut your cardstock down. So you'll notice that I'm not working with a cardstock that's like this big. I've cut it pretty narrow. It just makes it a lot easier to sort of weave in and out of your images if you're working with a smaller piece of cardstock as opposed to just like a big one. Next, you're gonna want a really super sharp pair of scissors. I'm using our paper snips. I'm a huge fan, mostly because A, they're super sharp, so be careful, don't lose a finger. And secondly, because they're small, so they can kind of weave in and out of the detail here. It's not like I'm using like my big scissors. They're just a little easier to work with. And then my last tip I'll give when you're fussy cutting is notice my right hand, or if you're lefty and you hold the scissors in your left hand, but whatever hand you're holding your scissors in, I'm not moving that hand. That hand is staying pretty still. And it's my other hand that is that's moving the paper around the scissors. So you're gonna want a sharp pair of scissors, cut down your cardstock so it's a little bit more maneuverable. What else did I say? And keep the hand that's handling the scissors pretty still, and then use your other hand to weave the cardstock in and out. So, and practice makes perfect. It's so funny. I went back and I saw an old scrapbook layout that I did, and I had fussy cut one of the sentiments, and it's horrible. It is wretched. So you have to practice, okay? Practice makes perfect. There we go. Okay, so I have my jar. I'm gonna cut that out with our punch. I love a good punch. I'm not gonna color the jar in. I'm gonna leave it just in white with the black and the white. I'm not doing any extra coloring on it. I guess you could if you wanted to add a little gray tones to it, but I just left it pretty simple. Now I wanted my flower, I didn't want my flowers too big, too far down. I wanted the top of the jar to kind of be poking through, and so I'm gonna adhere it just about as far up on the jar as I can. Now I will tell you that if you wanted to, there's also stems that you can stamp inside your jar. I just didn't want that look, but if you wanted that extra detail, you certainly could do that. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom of my flowers, and I'm going to just literally tack the top of my jar, and it's going to pull it. I'm going to stick with the polished pink bag because I think it's really pretty, but again, you could switch it up and do, let's see here. Let me show you. You could switch it up and do the fresh freesia bag with the fresh freesia ribbon underneath. You could do, what is this? The soft succulent underneath with the soft succulent ribbon. You could do, where are you? It's hiding. Pale papaya would be beautiful with that ribbon underneath. And even though I didn't use it, certainly the evening evergreen would look pretty as well. So, and you have coordinating ribbon. The ribbon that I'm going to use comes in all 5 colors. So no matter what color you're using, you can coordinate it. So speaking of ribbon, I am using the polished pink open weave ribbon. It's beautiful. It is, what did I say? What did I see? 3 inches? Yes, 3 inches wide. It has sort of this, I don't know, outer whatever, and then this sort of see-through running through it. It's really pretty. It makes beautiful, gorgeous bows. I've used it a ton already. And it comes in all 5 of our in-color colors. So I love them. I'm a huge fan of this. I'm going to cut this and then I'm going to tell you the measurements because I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just kind of eyeballing this. It measures like 6.5 inches. Okay. And I'm going to keep this really simple. So when I'm saying like this is a really simple card gift giving, if it wasn't for the fussy cutting, it would be even faster. So if you're making a bunch of these, maybe don't fussy cut and just use like a rectangle or whatnot, but it comes together really quickly. And I think it steps up gift giving, you know, anytime that we can step up our game, so to speak, why not, right? Okay, I am just looking for my dimensionals. There they are. I knew they were hiding on me. Okay, I'm going to dimensional this up. I totally just made up that word. Okay, pull these suckers off. Oops. And again, with the bag here, you can fill it with, not close it and just have some tissue paper hanging at the top of it. Or you can close it shut with a ribbon, a bow, or whatnot. So don't feel like you have to do one or the other. Both would look beautiful. Okay. Then just to add a little bit of bling, I'm using the 2021-23 in color jewels. Again, they come in the 5 colors, 2 different sizes, so a larger one and then a smaller one. I love these because they're tiny. I usually use the smaller embellishments more than the larger ones. And I'm just going to add 1 of each, so a small one, oops, and then a larger one, and call the bag done. Okay, super easy. Again, where's my pearls? It could fit a package of pearls, a package of ribbon, I don't know, many things. You got to get creative with it. Perfect for gift giving. But every gift bag needs a card, and of course we have to match the card. That's the whole point of it. I didn't want a big gigantic card. I wanted something on the smaller side, and so I decided to make a 3x3 card. I just took a panel of 3x6 and I scored it at 3 inches. I just made my own 3x3 card. The thing is that I didn't have a matching envelope. I ran out of them. I ran out of the 3x3 envelopes. And so I decided to make my own, and I'm going to show you how I did that. This is just using one of our regular envelopes that I trimmed down. And so where is, oh, I hope I didn't cut it. Nope, I didn't. Whew, I thought I cut it for a second. So here's my panel of basic white. It's 3x6 scored at 3 inches. So it's a 3x3 square. And I'm going to take my same floral image and I'm going to just do it again. So if you didn't catch how I did it the first time, you're going to see it again. So I'm going to ink that up in Memento ink. And hopefully this time I get first time. I'm going to stamp it a little higher, I think. And I'm kind of angling it, excuse me. Press real hard. Come on. I don't want to have to redo this. Oh, we're good. Okay. So I have it sort of in the corner. I guess I got a little bit of a different angle depending on how you stamp it. You could use the Stamparatus to get exact placement every time, but you can also just sort of wing it. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to stamp the sentiment with love. This guy is so cute. He's so little and adorable. He comes from the Hydrangea Haven stamp set. This is great because it has a couple of small sentiments. You could do the I love you, the thank you, the congrats, for you, or with love. And so all of them are like this little teeny tiny. And again, I chose the with love because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if this was going to be birthday or Mother's Day or what, or just because gift. I wasn't sure. So I left it with love. And then when I go to give it, I'll, you know, be able to stamp a more specific sentiment into the center, in the inside of the card. Okay, let me move things around. I gotta get my markers back, but now they're all a mess. Actually, I only need the light ones. I guess the dark ones I could take out. Okay, so here we go again. I want to try and do this fast. Now, the thing you have to be mindful of this is because you've stamped off, it can be a little, like I'm trying to figure out what this is. What is that? I think that's part of that. I'm not going to color that. You have to try and figure out what's what. as far as coloring. Like, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's part of that flower. No, it isn't. That might just be, actually, that might be negative space. Okay, so I'm going to just color the outline down the bottom. Do this guy over here, around, up here and down. Okay, and then I'm going to, it didn't take that long. I'm going to come with the darker one and just add a little bit of a fine line around. Because the pale is pretty, you're going to guess it, pale. And so the darker of the markers does add a nice little depth to it. Okay. Does anybody else sing or make weird noises when they color? Okay, that's pale papaya. Next we'll do the polished pink, which the other one of these I kind of stamped off the side, so I only have one to color. Done. Fresh freesia, I still have the 3, although one's kind of hanging off, but I do have the 3 flowers, which I'm not exactly sure what they are. Someone will have to let me know. 1, 2, and then this guy over here. So again, all the Stampin' blends, the bags, the ribbon, the embellishments, all are in the new annual catalog. It is live. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. So that is going on. There are a couple of promotions. There's a great starter kit offer right now so that you can buy. No pressure to sell or do parties. You can literally just enjoy the discount for your hobby. And for $99, you get $155 in product. That is a lot of product, let me tell you. Normally it's $125, so you actually are getting more bang for your buck. It ships for free, which is another huge savings, another $15 in savings. So that is going on right now. I'd love to have you join as part of my team. We just have a lot of fun. We just have fun. I just love these ladies so much. So that's going on. And then if you place an order over $250, you're getting an extra $25 in Hostess rewards. So $25, that can get you like a stamp set and then some, or a bunch of embellishments or some paper or whatever. I mean, so much you can get. So all the details are over on my blog. You can find that link at jaimieb.com. I'd love to help you. If you have any questions, certainly reach out and let me know. Okay, let's make our envelopes. So like I said, I didn't have any of the 3x3 envelopes, and so I thought I'm just going to make mine. So I have our standard medium envelope, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim 1 inch off of each of the sides. Now, I could have just gone completely flush to one side, but then I'd have this on one side and then a straight edge on the other, and I wanted it more symmetrical. So I'm cutting 1 inch off each end of my envelope here. And then from the bottom, I don't know how much it ends up being, but I want the height to be 3 3/4. So I don't know exactly how much it is, but put the flap end at your 3 3/4 and then cut. It ends up being, it's like 5/8 that it cuts off more or less. Okay, set that aside. And so we kind of have this, I totally, hold on, I have to do that again. I had written on this envelope to mail it to a friend. It has her address on it. Oh my goodness. How funny is that? I have to do it again. That is really, really funny. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to address the new envelope for her. Okay, here we go again. You're going to cut 1 inch off of both sides. Then you're going to put the top at 3 3/4 and cut, which ends up being about 5/8 off the bottom. Make sure you cut the bottom and not the top. That is too funny. How did I do that? Okay, and this is what you end up with. Okay, this is like the front and this is the back. And all I'm going to do is take some tear and tape and I'm going to adhere it shut. You can also use your Stampin' Seal. That's what I used for the sample, but it is a little wider and I think the tear and tape would work better. I honestly didn't use that for the sample because I'm running low on it. So I wasn't sure I'd have enough for, oh, that's a little high. I wasn't sure if I'd have enough. So, okay, so that's one end. Let me just do the other. I don't want to go too high because it has to be this height. So I guess I could have, that was really silly. Maybe put the adhesive on this one. That would be so much smarter. Why didn't I think of that? Either time I did this, I didn't think of that until now. So the smarter way would be to put the adhesive on this because then you're guaranteed the correct size. That was very silly of me. Okie dokie, I have a little piece here I just want to cover. Okay. Then you just, the hardest part of the tear and tape is peeling it because sometimes it can be hard to grip. There we go. Oops. No, I don't want the whole thing off. I just want the... No, it's ripping it. No, don't do that. Just want the sticker part. There we go. Sticker. And then, come on. I'm telling you, I love this stuff. I use it all the time, but it can be a little tricky to pop off. Okay, then we're going to take that flap and we're just going to adhere it to the front. The little swoop part should be at the top. Okay, so see how there's like this little swoop? That should be at the top. And then it fits our card perfectly. And just to add a little something, something, I stamped the jar on the front. I didn't lay it perfectly flat, so I'm just going to trim it just a smidge. I guess I didn't lay it perfect. No big deal. We can trim it and no one's none the wiser. Okay. So the jar, I'm just going to ink up in Memento ink. I'm going to stamp it in the corner. I don't really want it hanging off too much. Okay, and there we go. So we have our kind of homemade envelope that you can adapt to any size. So if you had a card that was 4x4 or whatever, you can adapt it. That slides in beautifully. And it perfectly coordinates with our beautiful bag. And so you can fit this on the inside if you want. You could attach it on the outside with a bow or like a clip of some sort. So lots of possibilities. Again, great Mother's Day gift giving ideas, great birthday giving ideas, just a lot of possibilities, I think, and really easy. Nothing too complicated. If I can do it, you can do it. So there we have it. Go head over to JaimieB, JAIMIEB.com for all my links to order, to ask me questions, to follow me on social media, all the things. All the links are over there. And this card will be over on my blog for you to find later next week as well. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Please let me know if I can help or serve you in any way. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye everyone.